is.
Okay.
All right, no other comments. Our old business, we had a visit from our zoning administrator, Brandon Emery, on January 28th. And he checked pretty much, I wasn't here.
Yeah, he went around, and checked, we had two, new zoning applications. And he went out and looked at those, and he did go around, all around town to see what was going on, but I have not got his report back yet.
Okay. I do believe that since we have a rate sheet, that we should start code enforcement. So just passing that out.
We don't have to vote on that. It's already in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not bad.
New business, the November council meeting date for 2025. Somehow, I don't know, we got this mixed up a little bit, that our list of dates shows as November 8th, which is a Saturday.
Should be the 18th.
Yes, I think that it should be the 18th. The earlier Tuesday is election day, and the following Tuesday, the 18th. So I think this was just a typo. Yeah. Did anybody have a conflict with that date?
We agree with that.
I think that's what we just didn't get that correct. Okay. Copier contract renewal and upgrade. This is our copier is leased, and
Yeah, the contract is, they came in to meet with us, and we can get a newer, more up-to-date copier, and it's actually gonna cost us less a month. They should be here to install it sometime tomorrow, and that does include all the ink, so, which is very costly if we have to buy. But, yeah, we've been really happy with this one.
is this just a black and white or a latest color?
There is,
I guess
that's
that's
also an extra to do color. We have a certain number of color copies that we can do within a month's time, but
Does the new one sing and dance?
it does.
Well, this is the advantage of having a leased copier, that we can upgrade it with renewal. Do we have to do any motion for this?
It's already budgeted.
Okay.
Like I said, it's gonna be less a month than what we're paying now.
I like to hear that.
Okay. And the other item for new business, number 3, is switching our internet provider. We went for almost a month with our internet coming and going, and we were not able to do business here. I think we had to even do a Zoom meeting with borrowing from Jack.
Alan, yeah, we
Yeah,
got him.
Alan.
Alan started, I think at the last meeting, also,
Yeah.
the internet here was down.
And so we went ahead and got the Starlink equipment.
Scott installed it last week. It's working perfect. Sweet.
We have not got everything in the office switched over to Starlink yet, but hopefully everything will be there in the line to get everything switched over and put in, new security.
There's a firewall,
Yeah,
and we'll have separate office
Versus gas.
yeah.
and
Two
guest.
different Wi-Fi's.
And I think that's an important
Be more
thing.
secure.
Yeah, that's important for her nowadays, you know, with all that. I mean, I know we had something in the past, but I don't know if it was at the level that this will be.
No, definitely not.
This will be
This
much
is-
better.
Yeah, yeah. And, hopefully they will get the phone, switching the phone over to a different company too. Something that's-
They credit for the outage on the internet.
It was spotty.
I was, you know, when I got through some stuff.
Did you?
They gave you 25, but
We
they
can
did
request.
more, and I just noticed the bill was quite a bit less.
It was spotty for us. It would come on and go off. It would come on
Same
and
with
go off.
me, but they give credit.
It's still doing that. Mine's gone in and out, last few days. We'll be on in the morning and then they go out, so that's just our problem with our broadband.
And actually, the Starlink is gonna be cheaper too than what we're paying for the Zeta.
Well, good.
Great.
Starlink would be 140 a month, cost of business, and the telephone would be $10.
Okay, is this telephone going to be a landline?
These phones are internet capable.
Okay.
That's what they are now,
Okay.
and that's what it'll be. And we keep the same number, but
These are internet.
All right. Number 4, we have Pastor Eric Reese here today, and he through a grant through Dogwood, he has provided us with reimbursement for our the cost of Starlink. So, would you like to join us? And
And he's doing I'd like for him to talk about all the efforts he's been up to.
Okay. I'm glad
And
that
I'm
Kevin's
also-
here as well. And I have the press releases for the Dogwood Health Foundation.
okay.
There, if you had the chance to look on this internet initiative. And just briefly first, again, I'm Eric Reed, one of the pastors in town. And I wanted to share with you that I'm so grateful that you give scholarships to our high school students. And I've been there when you've given them out, and I know that's something that you all do. So first, I wanted to thank you for that. That's very important to the school and the student, to us, and so I'm grateful for that. I also wanted to thank you for your support of our library. We love our library, and you're a big supporter. You're one of the shareholders, so thank you for that. When Chris Bradley did a lot of work, and our concern was, this goes back during COVID and recently, if somebody's internet goes out and they've got like a telehealth meeting with their doctor or other examples like that, it's just bad. And so the thought was that if the internet was improved here, somebody could just drive up in the parking lot and have their tablet and be able to get online because the internet service here has improved. And one of the things we're really struggling with in our community is people having internet access, more phone access, and having quality internet phone access. And so what Dogwood Health Trust did was they interviewed a lot of folks. They picked out 10 hubs, and 5 Point Center is our hub here in Graham County. They asked different partners to join up, and the partners we have in Graham County, we have the partner to 5 Point Center, the Great Organization, the Robbinsville United Methodist Church, and the Graham County Friends of the Library. So all 4 of these are working together, hoping to come up with some ideas to help people. What we've done on our end initially is to find hotspots to give out to students. And we've taken a number over to the high school and said that, find some students that need Wi-Fi and give this to them. So they've got Chromebook, but if they have to go to McDonald's to do their homework, it's not really a good thing. So we're just trying to look at ways. If you have any ideas, the hotspots thing is just, it's not a long-term solution, but if you have a long-term solution, and I know that you can, as a municipality, you can contact, our congressman and others, and let them know we need help here in Graham County. That's what I'm saying. We're willing to help ourselves. We're willing to do anything, but it doesn't hurt for us to have a little bit of help. And when the town said they were switching on Starlink, which is something we've been talking about, through when I was talking with Chris Bradley, then I thought, well, this would be great to reimburse the town for the unbudgeted expenses switching all that. And so the town was kind enough to send me the invoice. So I have a check here from sent. This is again from the Dollar General Trust Broadband Initiative to reimburse you for the equipment that you've had to buy. And so again, we hope that this helps out the town, the community, and people in our areas. So who'd offer this?
Better give it to Miss Kim. She's the only one that's.
God bless you.
Give trust me. I don't know if you can see the paper that's up on the screen. It has
Oh,
Robin's going to give this church.
did not see that.
Well, that was from several years ago when you had another dogwood grant. And you divided $5,000 between Robbinsville, Lake Santeetlah, and Montana Dam. And so we got a little over $1,666 to go towards our front entrance.
Now, the deal there was I was supposed to be up there walking.
That's
Getting
right.
in shape with that. I don't think I fit my end of the deal. That's supposed to be for walking, for people that walk.
Pastor, could you elaborate a little bit on the Dogwood Health Organization Trust and who they are and what they do for some of the folks that may not know about that organization?
Okay, real briefly, when Health Corporation of America bought out the Mission Hospital System, they paid $1.6 billion, and that money was put into a trust. And so the trust has to spend at least 5% of their trust every year to help out the community. And so they help out 18 counties from Burke County, which is to the Morgantown west. And so any church, nonprofit, municipality, my best in school, there's a certain category of groups that can apply, and they'll work with you and help with you. But the big thing is that they've been doing initiatives. They go ahead and say, okay, our community needs this, and they talk to the people in the community and say what y'all need and that. And Jim Ager and I, we kind of got involved, not knowing what we were doing, but we did a lot of help with the census initiative, which really helped out our community. And so they have, like they did the Healthy Opportunities program, which is helping out our community. And then this broadband initiative is helping out our community. And there's just so many initiatives that they're doing right now. One of them is, like small business grants for small businesses in our community that were affected by the storms. And so I recommend you go to their website, recommend you get on the mailing list. They often have online opportunities to learn about how to contact them about grants and about things that you're interested in. And so they are really, really helping out Western North Carolina. And again, it's not a thing where they just say here, they work with you and listen to you, and you're able to say, we've got a problem here we're working on, we're willing to do everything we can, but we need just a little bit of help. They're the ones that give a little bit of help that makes the difference.
So it's not just for public entities, but it's also nonprofits, churches, things of that nature.
Right.
Good to know.
Scholarship at school, don't they? Do they have a scholarship for dogs?
I know they're giving scholarships.
I think
They're called Dogwood Health, by the way, but they do a lot more than just health. They're really awesome and really good people to work with.
They work with Southwestern Commission as well, which is our 13 western counties. Like to introduce that we have Kevin Brown here with us, and Kevin approached us to help with a challenge for our broadband and our internet service, in that it had been published or something that we as town of Lake Santeetlah was covered for our internet services, which was not true. And so with Kevin's help, he worked for the county through GREAT, a program to challenge this. And obviously we have had an outcome from this, if you can
Well,
relate.
we haven't. I got some news to share with you. Most of it's not good, but I do have some hope, and I do have a little bit of good news to share. The first thing is, when Helene happened, everything got postponed for 2 months, just to try to, and they started focus on getting funds for Helene and trying to help people in Nashville who lost everything. And in a lot of the B process, the challenge process, all of that got postponed at least 2 months minimum. Okay, and then um, we've had an election. We have a new president, Donald Trump. I have a letter from the executive office of the president, and the wording, you're going to recognize Trump's words in a lot of it. I brought a copy for you guys. He has put everything on hold across the board, everywhere. He's looking at. He's trying to get rid of fraud and abuse, and he doesn't want to put billions of dollars in projects unless he knows where the money's going. So, but it's a very good article. I mean, very good. 2 pages. There's like six of them there. But anyway, so everything's on hold. What we were able to do with Connect Humanity, they asked everybody to write a letter. So we all wrote a letter, and we sent, and they're going to publish the letter and give it to the president and let him look it over. And we went through all the things and reasons why we need internet in this county, why we, desperately need internet and opportunities where people can work from home and all kinds of stuff. Everything we can think of, we put in our letters. But anyway, they're going to look it over. They will get back with us on the meeting. Now, it did get postponed for 2 months. The challenge process did. It has entered the challenge phase. I put in all the data. And as of yesterday, because I checked it yesterday, nothing's been rebutted. So the ISPs have it now to look it over to rebut my input. Okay, so it's still in the works, even though everything's on hold as far as we're not going to be awarded until President Trump looks over everything and comes up with a solution or a decision. Now, with that said, President Trump is a technology guy and he's an infrastructure guy. So it wouldn't surprise me if he went along with me or if he come up with a better solution. But I think that will drastically happen. Now we do have an opportunity if we get awarded the funds for Graham County to win $8 million to have expand broadband within Graham County.
That again, how much?
8 million.
8 million.
All right, so maybe 8.5, but it's all on hold. So it's like hurry up and wait. There's nothing we've done. All we can do on our end as much as possible. We're waiting on the government on their end. All right, the good news that I have for you, and this is not going to affect you guys so much because see, all right, and I didn't bring my laptop. I probably should have. I could have showed you some pictures. Anyway, there's been several attempts in the past for different grants to try to get broadband expanded. Well, one of those grants is called RDOF, RDOF, Rural Opportunities, whatever. I'm bad with all the acronyms because there's hundreds of them I deal with. Well, anyway, RDOF is a large footprint in Graham County. It has a lot of rural area in Graham County. And there was this outfit out of northern Georgia that they bidded on getting that work. And they got the grant, they got awarded the grant, and it was only $2.5 million. Okay. And in my opinion, I don't think it's possible for anybody to do that large of a footprint for 2.5 million. So they gave the money back. They returned it back to the government. All right. So now that it was in the government's hand. So what they done is they gave it to the next bidder in line, which is Charter. And this is actually turning out in our favor for good because Charter has bought 86 of the counties in the state of North Carolina. So they're trying to expand everywhere. And see that like it starts like our hub in Western North Carolina is in Asheville. And then as it goes, as they get Selma done, it makes it easier to get Bryson done. As they get Bryson done, it makes it easier to get us done because it's just the way it goes. Well, because they own such a large amount, I had a meeting with the guy over North Carolina and Virginia with Charter at Southwest Commission about 3 weeks ago. And he told us that he is 100% committed to completing that RDOF grant and getting all those BSLs, which is, locations, with internet, with Charter internet, with optical fiber. Now, that doesn't include you guys, but it's a massive footprint within Graham County. And if you go to RDOF and you can see maps and see, it usually will pop up in gray, the RDOF footprint, and it's a lot. All right. Well, I was talking to this guy, and I have his business card in my office from Charter, and I said, "All right, well, here's our situation. We have CEDO. It's in and out all the time. It's not that great. They're the only reason we're showing as served in Lake Santeetlah in Graham County in the business district and different areas. Since you're coming anyway, would it make sense if you get the business district?" And he wasn't close to the idea. But what impressed me about him is he said, "I know it's going to cost more than $2.5 million to do the RDOF grant, but he's committed to do it anyway. They're committed to build infrastructure in North Carolina because see, once you get it, usually everybody keeps it. And that's kind of their thought is all the customers they're going to get. And if they get, since they've got almost all of North Carolina, not all of it, but most of it, 8 counties, it's only to their benefit. Even if it costs them more up front, it's all going to end up paying off for them later because they're going to be getting monthly services fees from each customer. So that's the good news. Is Charter is on its way here. So you're going to see Charter trucks a lot. Now you won't see them that often to the beginning, and I have some pictures, but there's phases in the way that they do fiber. All right, and the first phase is you might see a truck every now and then, and it's a design phase. So they have to design it all. Let me see if I can find a picture. It'd be better than me guessing.
We have fiber up on the highway, though.
I understand, yeah. And they're going to tie into that. But anyway, as it gets closer, you're going to start to see a lot of Charter trucks. And when I explained to him, and I apologize, so. But anyway, as they go along, it'll, it's like a big network. It's not done overnight. So you have to, you almost have to start with the business district because you've got to have a hub somewhere. You know what I mean? And then you go from that hub and you branch out from that hub. So we'll see how it all, entails. But I'm hoping that Charter while they're here, it makes sense to just hit everybody. You know what I mean? You know, if you're a business, if you're wanting to expand broadband, it's best that why not just hit everybody while we're here? Why lose out on these others because of a technicality on the map? You know, so that's the good news. But technically, at the beginning, you guys, business districts considered served, so they're not getting paid to do it. But I think, especially with the way this guy talked, he's exciting. I mean, it's exciting that he's willing to put more money into it to make it happen. Now, as far as the challenge process goes, the challenge process, I had some extremely frustrating news. Kentucky got their challenge process completed. Okay. And, you know, so there's this, you get all this data, you submit this data, they look it over, they give the ISP 30 days to look it over, rebut everything, and then they make a decision. That's the way this design worked from the beginning. Well, Kentucky got all of this data, made all this happen, and got it on the. I mean, they hired people and everything to go get this challenge data done. And the state of Kentucky said, "Oh well, we're going to side with the ISP, they're service providers, and if it's considered served, we're not going to change anything from served to unserved." So I was in that Southwest Commission meeting with NCDIT, North Carolina Department of Information and Technology. And I asked them specifically, is North Carolina going to do us, because that's who's doing the challenge process, like Kentucky? And she outright said, no, we will not. If you have proof the map needs to be changed, it's going to be changed. So that was encouraging as well. So not all I'm saying is bad news, but we're trying, and we're doing all we can on our end. You know, and the charter news is encouraging because the people who do have charter is really fast and it's really dependent and it works well.
Well, thank you so much for getting us updated, and thank you, Pastor Reese, for
Welcome.
covering our expenses. That's great.
I had just a quick observation question.
Yes, sir.
I know that putting fiber in is quite expensive, and there's a lot of work involved in it. Why don't we just jump to the chase and all everybody go Starlink? And now that,
Well,
you know, a certain person has the ear of the president, is that in the foreseeable future, since it's so inexpensive to implement?
fiber is better.
Why?
It's kind of like when you're dealing with computers. A direct connection is always going to be faster than a Wi-Fi connection.
Yep.
And it's the
Hey
same
guys,
thing.
it's bandwidth. Look at it this way. The satellite has the maximum speed that it can handle, and it's 1,000 times less than what the glass and the ground can handle.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
Thank you.
Chris.
Thank you.
That's a very good one.
Fiber is also a lot faster and more dependable. And the way it's made out of glass. So it has no interference whatsoever.
Right.
So, you know, if you've got a copper cable going through there and you have magnetic radio waves near it, it can cause interference because it's going in and out. But with the way optical fiber is made, it's just dependable. It's just nothing can interfere with it because it's little lights going blink. It's just nothing. Bar none is the best thing out.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Appreciate that.
All right. We appreciate your being here with us and updating us. So,
You can stay, we're gonna have some
Chris,
chili here.
yeah,
in a few
Chris.
minutes.
If you don't mind,
Thank you
I
as
can go.
well for your
I'm still working.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay, have some chili.
I've got to run, but thank you.
Okay.
Rain check.
Number,
Kevin will stay.
Don't have to worry, I'm always here, brother.
except when I'm not. Like,
New business number 5, we have a budget amendment. So is this for water now? Or is
No,
it-
it's for general.
Okay.
We budgeted to transfer $40,000 from the general fund into our, capital road reserve account.
Okay,
And we ended up spending the $40,000 on all the paving that we done this year. So I just need to move that to, pay the town roads. But I think we still are gonna move money into the capital,
It's 75,000 into.
So it's just a line adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So it
And
makes-
you have that for us.
yeah,
For me to sign.
yeah.
So we
The
need a
40,000.
motion.
Make a motion to approve the budget amendment.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay. Okay, so then, we have Ann Hager here to update us on, the planning board.
Yeah, so at the last meeting, I presented several proposed changes to the ordinance that were all procedural. And then Craig, suggested that we make some changes to it. So we went back to the planning board and we made those changes. So Craig has had an opportunity to relook at it yesterday. So I think that we're good to go. So I doubt that any of you have a copy of the changes because all this is just, do you? That's great, thank you. So, number 4, the ordinance should read, with the exception of the planning board and zoning board of adjustment, any application shall be submitted to the town council. If the town council determines that the proposed change should be considered, the council shall refer the request for changes to the planning board. And when we tweaked it, we took out the time period. We first said town council has 30 days, and then the planning board has 30 days. And during the last council meeting, we decided that should be removed. Also on number 5, and Craig really worked on this. All questions arising in connection with the enforcement of the ordinance shall be presented in writing to the town administrator. If the inquiry cannot be resolved in a timely fashion, the town administrator may refer the question to the zoning administrator for a binding decision. So that, in a nutshell, is it. And so what I'm asking is for the council's consideration of these proposed changes and for approval.
I have a question. In number 5, it says that the, wait a minute, hold on, let me get it back in. It would be referred to the zoning administrator for a binding decision. Is there no appeal clause for any decision?
Well, this is just a question.
I'm sorry, it's
This
a
is just
question.
a question. All questions arising in connection with the enforcement of the ordinance. And we do have a process to go through. If you have an application for a certificate, then you can appeal to the zoning board of
I
adjustment.
got it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So we need to schedule a public hearing on this. Anybody have any preferences on when we do that?
Sooner or better.
Got a date tonight?
Even with a minor change like this, we still have to send out a letter to everyone in the town. Am I correct?
So this is a text change.
Yeah.
So unless there's something unique in your ordinance, the state law only requires that you post the advertisement of the changes in a newspaper, and that's all you're required to do.
So we don't have
Yeah, I
to.
think. So you don't have to notify all the property owners of this because it's a text. Again, unless there's something in your ordinance that adds to it, I don't think we would. I think you, as a matter of you post things on your website and things of that nature. But to call a public hearing, you just need to post it in the news.
Okay. So it has to run for 2 weeks. paper. So today.
Yeah, I would just assume you just, you know, you put it up at meeting in March.
Do a public hearing within our council meeting in March.
Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
So that would be March 11th.
Okay.
That's quick.
Okay, do we have to do a motion or approving this, or we just made a decision? Administrative. Okay. Thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the work everybody has done reviewing. I don't know how many pages this is, 800 and something.
A bunch.
A bunch.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
So, and just to cross the T and dot the I, is there something from the planning board as to a written recommendation? So there's some sort of form that you send to Kim that would be part of the record about the planning board's recommendation?
Well, we could actually, at the last planning board meeting, we took a vote and it was recorded in the minutes. So do I need to send something in addition to that to him?
Yeah, I would just, and I can have, Kim, I can have Taylor just create a form that Ann would sign.
Okay.
Just something that you can use in, for later decisions and recommendations. Something simple, just a one pager. So
Anything else? All right, let's see, then we have, next item is the recycle trailer. And, well,
Yeah.
Kim has talked with Graham County.
I talked with Green County and they definitely can use the recycle trailer. They'll put it at one of the facilities. And I just talked to Craig and he said that if we could do a vote and just make a motion, we'd give him stuff at the surplus property. Or he said it would be better to do a resolution. So
To do what?
A resolution. So if y'all want to donate the trailer to Graham County, you could make a motion for Diana to sign the resolution when it's prepared.
Move to donate the trailer to Graham County,
Authorize Diana to sign.
and Diana can sign the resolution.
I'll second that.
All.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. All right,
That gives us an extra parking spot
it does.
between back.
So we were thinking about doing this at the end of the month and letting people know. I've already talked to AJ's partner.
We'll put that out. We have not put anything out in a mass email until y'all voted to do that, but now we can send out a mass email. We can also put it on the website.
Okay,
It will be here through the end of the month.
okay,
And explained in that, you have to take your trash to where there's already recycling.
Man,
all right, that's the recycling trailer. So as for council statements, I have a statement. We've had a dog running around loose for probably at least a month, and it's come to our attention. It's been to visit the Haggers. And
We gave him a bath.
he gave him a bath and he spent the night, and he's a really good dog, does not have a collar. I think I'd seen him at one point with a collar, but
What's he look like? What kind of dog we talking?
evidently it's kind of a lab.
But Tina did.
It might be a sheep, it's smaller.
No, well, ours.
Diana?
Was he okay?
I did get a message this morning from Tina Emerson,
Okay.
and she saw on Facebook that this dog the owner had found it,
Yeah.
and it looks like the same dog.
Well,
So,
yeah, it was found, the owner was located.
Oh, great.
I just saw that this morning. But if it's not the same one, and you do still see it around,
This wasn't gonna let up.
No, it was the same one. That was resolved.
Okay, wonderful, and thank you, Tina Emerson, for volunteering to drive over to pick up the dog to take it, for adoption. And everyone else who was involved in taking care of this hound dog, well, he was around.
It was cold out there too.
All right, Kevin, did you have some statements about?
Yes, we wanted to just, as a town, pay our condolences to Scott and family, for Shalimar's recent passing. And how moving that event has been for the entire community and the whole town of Robbinsville. Some of you may not know that the entire high school was let out early to attend the funeral over at our local Lone Oak Baptist Church. And we had Patrick Odell, one of the pastors there, and your pastor, I believe, from your church, officiate that, as well as a graveside ceremony. And we just wanted to pay our condolences as a town to you and your family, in just stepping up to help that young lady who was severely challenged in many ways, but always just a joy in the community. And when she would attend our events, or when we'd see her in the truck with you driving around, or whatever it might be. And my takeaway on her life was that the joy of the Lord was truly her strength. She was just always very joyful. If you saw the football game, there was a great tribute from Cutler Adams via Zoom or whatever it was at the funeral that acknowledged that when he was out on the field, one of his loudest fans was Shalimar. And he appreciated that. And I thought that was a great shout out for her. And she will be missed. And then her family is still grieving. And we just wanted the town to acknowledge that and just keep praying for you and the family. Thank you.
She came here for 4th of July and other events. And how long has she been with you?
About 3 years.
3 years. It's quite a while. Wonderful.
I guarantee you that was the best 3 years of her life.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure. Thank you. You have a comment?
I have two. First, thank Alan for letting us use his internet, because I didn't know. You put it up there. Thank you. I appreciate it. We wouldn't have done any business last month. And the second issue I have, or it's not an issue, it's just a comment. I don't want to be a nitpicker, but we have construction equipment sitting in our front door, and it just keeps sitting there. I don't know who the contractor is. There's attachments for this and attachments for that. There's a trailer up there. And of course, this morning there's a dump truck full of trash sitting in the parking lot at the front door. I wonder if there's anything that we might suggest, another place than besides our front door to store construction equipment.
They're working
Yeah.
right below where that city.
Kind of ash.
Yeah, they're tearing down a house, so. yeah.
That's obvious.
It's on
And there's not enough room
Trail.
down there, and I know they're gonna build this house back, and that's one of the concerns that the contractor had, is there's not enough room for them to park. So it's gonna be, they're probably parking at the front entrance. But I don't know.
The house is probably 70%.
That's why
It's about 70% tore out. So
I mean,
it's close to that at least.
I can live with it. I just, if there was an easy other place to put it, it would be a lot better.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you see when you drive into Lake Santeetlah.
It's pretty tight to have to go down there and then do a 3-point turnaround to even up.
I'm not trying to make it hard on anybody. Just if it's gotta be, it's gotta be. I don't have a problem with it.
I think they addressed that with the planning board. There were questions about trailers and boats and equipment and stuff. And because it's such a tight community as far as our roadways and stuff, there was just no good solution. So we have all, I guess, learned to kind of deal with it, you know, in a gracious way as best we can. So,
You mean let it go?
yeah.
Okay.
Brickell's house has been completed. So fortunately, we don't have that gauntlet of having to get through and have the big dumpsters.
There's still bathrooms out there. Porta
Yeah.
potties, yeah.
They pretty much completed that house.
Which one is it?
The Brickell house, the big white.
Hotel house. The what?
The
Hotel.
big house on Thunderbird, next to the Hutzel house.
Biggest one in town. How's that?
Oh, that one. Is Hutzel's done it yet?
Yeah.
Has he got a CO?
I think he's had a CO for over a year.
Oh, okay.
They just put up a railing fence.
Yes.
At their driveway, but
So the other house is finished? He got a CO?
it has. It's
Nice.
They put in furniture and appliances are coming this week,
Yeah.
so.
Cool.
Show you
I
that.
hope we all get a tour of the.
Yeah.
Of our chassis.
I did.
It's like touring the Biltmore.
My special invite
Yeah, how'd you get that? You should have brought the.
and ask.
You have to ask the vice mayor to come along and that or something.
Say to
Okay.
several days, 6 days ago, I sent you and Caleb, thing from Dogwood Trust about a webinar that's coming up. It's about grant writing. I would like for y'all to send that to each of the council members,
Okay.
forward it to them, so if you want to sit in on that webinar, I think I'll try to do it.
When is it?
What's it on?
Grant.
Dogwood Trust.
The 17th.
This month, right?
This,
February, coming right up.
That grant writing is not for the faint of heart.
No.
it just says register for it. I don't think it shows the date.
Hopefully it's online.
Yeah, it's something
Okay.
to do here.
No, I've written one.
The announcements.
Okay. Announcements. Our next regularly scheduled council meeting will be held March 11th. The meeting will be held here at Town Hall and by Zoom. And we will plan to have, the public hearing for the planning board
Within that meeting.
within that meeting. So,
Public is invited.
yes, by Zoom or come visit Town Hall.
Kim, I have a question. Do we have a signature from Minsky yet? He signed it. Okay, so we got a done deal.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
all got signed. And it's a good thing because they are
It's
going to build another house down there.
They got 'em where?
Actually, Phoebe mentioned there's a two houses to be built at Lakeside.
Okay, so they better get that sewer
Yeah.
system hooked up, and it's
Ken
Yeah.
has
gonna get
requested
stinky out.
that this work be done during the week to make sure that we don't have any water line issues. So,
Diana,
yes,
shouldn't have any water line issues. We've got all that marked. And yeah, he's gonna be doing 2 houses down there. So it's gonna be fun. You gotta have the plans that Austin gave you, that you approved. So hopefully they won't be us to keep and Richmond will be switched over to the new system. But we don't know for sure if it's working totally properly. Still, there's not to do that. So, and we're still talking to Environmental Inc. now about some stuff, and then Blake is also looking at other options. Because we've had some trouble getting a hold of environmental. But it's going.
okay, good news. Well, we'll cover light poles later.
Yeah.
So that's another issue. Thank you, BB. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And you made it.